Puberty is an uncomfortable thing. Your voice is squeaking, your bones is hurting because you're growing. But when you come out, you come as an adult. That's literally what growth is about. And I feel like a lot of people need to go through a spiritual puberty. A lot of people never went through that. Like, you need to get uncomfortable and grow as a person, mentally and spiritually.
One of my biggest things about Americans that I realize is like they put so much value into like information given to them by white people that it's kind of disgusting. Yeah, it really is disgusting. And like, and this isn't even having anything to do with the anything to do with like
the chat was cracking. Go ahead, my bad.
With like what's going on, but like this is something I've like acknowledged. Where it's like I remember long ago I had like. Oh, funny enough, I had an Indian friend, and like I remember like their parents came to school, and this is like middle school or some shit. They were talking about how like they do like a therapy, something with therapy, and like the importance of like properly breathing, right? And then I remember a few years ago, this article came out talking about how to breathe properly, which was literally the exact ancient principles that like Indians were using for the longest. And it's like, bro, like they like niggas been doing this for the longest of time, but it's like because a white person.
And the actual example I could think of is like literally right before I was streaming. You know, I follow a lot of those live stream channels, live stream fails channels, where they like promote different clips from different streamers, but it's become a circle jerk with like the same popular streamers. And the title of the video was Shroud shares his opinion on Black Lives Matters. I haven't seen any of these channels talk anything about black people. They don't feature any black streamers. But as soon as Shroud talks about Black Lives Matter, they put it on the fucking channel. That shit irks me when I see that shit. Like I'm not gonna lie, like one of the things that pisses me off and one of the biggest problems is white people love to talk about us, but they don't like to talk to us. On God.
And it's not even just us. It's all culture. And I'm gonna be, and like I hate to like use the words, but like this is the real sense of it. Like white people love cultural appropriation. And then they don't give you the credit that you deserve. And it's as simple as meditation to our culture of dancing and music and fashion to anything. And it's like, yo, like.
And don't get it twisted. Like I appreciate what Shroud did. It seems like he's a good guy. It just irks me because it's like, damn, we can't even have our own oppression. Like y'all co-oping that shit too.
They co-opted.
I too remember when I was.
Why does it matter so much when he says it? When my black ass says it, it doesn't fucking matter, bro. And I can get way better insight on it than he can.
I think one of the weirdest things is truly like that white people are talking about themselves being oppressed. I'm like, for real? Is this something that you truly want? Is that something that you truly believe in, that you're oppressed? Like, okay. because you're being called a Karen. All right, cool.
Oh, exactly.
That shit, like, I can tell you why. It's because it's Shroud. Because he's so big, they just want to make sure that maybe they'll be noticed if they talk about him. Because Lupo was the first one, and nobody made it to that degree.
Lupo had an epic rant. I give him a dap in public for that. I ain't saying he coming to the cookout, but he'll get a dap, and I'll talk to him.
I seen Brandon tweeted Lupo followed him. I guess he fucking with the cause or whatever. So yeah, he said he get a dap.
That was legit. He like, I don't give a fuck. He like, I don't understand it, but nah, I felt like it was legit. Like I felt like he didn't say it just because like it was the hot topic. I felt like he actually meant that shit. And Dr. Lupo, I'll say out of the big people, like, because I know he's constantly, you know, doing charities and stuff for St. Jude and stuff. Like, I think he's a legit good dude.
Yeah, and that was my point. But I'm just saying, like, since he was first, it seemed like everybody's just trying to copy him either to get that clout or or whatever, be in that same
I feel you. I hope
they see an opportunity to get new black viewers. That's all.
And then now all the publications are really jumping on board on what Shroud was saying instead of putting that kind of love towards Lupo. I didn't see it like that.
Let me look at this with Shroud said.
I don't know what catch that one. But I'll say this.
He basically said what Lupo said. I don't completely understand it, but I know, there people are getting killed because of the color of their skin, and it's not cool. That's all he said.
I'll say this though.
It was honestly nothing profound.
I'm not going to reward white people for being decent human beings. I ain't giving this nigga no. I appreciate what he said and using his platform to say it. But like, once again, I feel like if we can't even agree upon that, there's not a conversation to be had. You feel me?
I
So
think
it's
I
like-
think it, I think
I
it's
got
funny.
you after that.
No. What I think is funny about it is be like a lot of white folks swear that white privilege doesn't exist, but that's actually an example right there. I never see any black people featured on these live stream fail channels, but the moment a white dude talks about black people's problems, it gets featured. It's like you love talking about us, but you don't talk to us, and that's privilege in itself. You care more about what they say about black people than actual black people because it'll get you views.
I was
That
saying
shit is
this
wild
earlier.
to me.
I feel like a lot of people care more about the symbology of something than the actual message.
I'm going this way.
For example, like racism. White people don't care about racism. My bad. White people don't care about if they're racist or not. They care about the ramifications of being caught being racist by other white people. But they don't care about actual black people and how they.
First of all,
oppress them.
not all, but like a lot of them
Some.
care more about how they look versus what actually being a good person is. What you're saying.
Exactly.
Well, how they look in the public eye, like their PR. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
No, but going back to what y'all said, I mean, that I feel like that is one of the easiest ways that you could truly get educated and understand. It just talk to somebody black. Like, it's not hard. Like, you're not going to lose all of your credibility just because you spoke to a black person.
Like, don't make it.
I don't
A lot of
why.
them are making it about themselves. Like, a lot of people, all we're asking is for accountability. We're not asking you to be guilty because you white. Me personally, all I'm asking is like the situation with the black dudes at fucking Starbucks. The shit that irks me out about that is like all the white folks just sat there and let that shit happen. Like, if you see somebody who's innocent and minding their business and getting fucked with, speak up. That's all people ask.
Say something, because guarantee they will listen to you. They not listen to the black people.
Right.
I'm going to be too much of a threat.
Shout out to Busted Cherry for the research.
Just like with Black
but you don't got to do all
Wall
this
Street.
other extra shit. Ain't nobody asking
Yeah.
for all that.
I think it's two. It might be two.
And nobody trying to take that clout. Like,
Might
if
be one.
you just want to have a conversation.
I think he is.
I think the most interesting thing about this situation, though, is like I'm
They're
curious.
trying to pull up to us. They're trying to pull
Oh,
up
bad.
to us.
Let him pull up. We got the high ground. Let him pull up. I'm curious to why people care about
Alright,
this
sir.
one as much. So
I'm going to be too much of
like
a threat.
RIP to him, but at the same
Just
time,
like with
I
Black
still
Wall
think
Street.
the worst story is
He's
the
not by himself.
what was it? The girl that got killed in their own apartment. The
Oh,
police
yeah.
officer thought that they
Breonna
were at their house. That's the worst story to me. That
Yeah.
you can't even live in your own house, and the police gonna come in there and kill you. Why did nobody care about that story? Is what I think.
Hey, but nah, people are protesting and looting again because of just George Floyd, right?
Breonna Taylor, that was her name. Yeah, RIP to Breonna Taylor.
Nah,
That's a
we're
wild
doing it
story.
just because of George Floyd. It's nothing else that happened. Like that's again what people just don't understand, and it's not that hard to look back at the things that happened.
Fucking God.
And again, if you don't understand at this point, it's because you're
Yeah, no, I'm
willingly
playing right
ignoring
now.
it because you
I
have
know
the
y'all
privilege
seen
to.
So you need a video to care, gotcha.
Yeah, again, that's what it was. It was a breaking point once again, just like 6 years ago, after Michael Brown died, it was a breaking point.
That's a Trevor's out the striker, dog.
I
Hold on,
got
y'all.
two. Let me help. Where you at, Black? That doesn't matter. Her response.
People
Yeah.
complaining
gonna
about
have to rush
riots don't
'cause,
work, don't know the history of the
We knocked
USA.
that one guy.
We got knocked one. They're gonna pick him up.
He's probably
Shout out to
gonna
Siggy
pick him
with
up.
the reset.
That's all right. Let's go. Go.
They're pulling that. They're right there. Cracked him. Robo Boy's cracked.
All right.
He's going up top.
Robo was leaving. He's scared.
Oh, I'm pushing him.
Me too. I'm with you.
Oh, he's climbing the wall. Fucking pussy. I can't get him.
Damn, all that fucking.
Chasing the sun.
Grab an alt.
There, I got him down.
Good
He's
shit,
down.
good shit. I'm gonna heal.
Heal,
One
heal.
second, chat.
There.
Is he in here?
Yeah. Caustic, you'll be fine.
Oh, Casa had no health. Remember,
Okay.
just kill him.
Cracked him. Oh, we're getting third party.
Another
Let it
team,
go.
another
Let it
team,
go. Let
another
it go.
team.
Let it go.
Fall back. Let's go this way, boys. Let's go this way. Yeah, racism is bad.
Facts. Oh shit.
Someone made a great tweet that talking about racism isn't uncomfortable if you're not a fucking racist. And yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I feel like if you can't talk about race without feeling uncomfortable, you gotta you're racist. And guess what? If you can acknowledge that you're uncomfortable, that's great because now you can work on not being racist.
You can only grow from being uncomfortable. Like, you know what's funny? I was thinking about like I said, is puberty is an uncomfortable thing. Your voice is squeaking, your bones is hurting because you're growing. But when you come out, you come as an adult. That's literally what growth is about. And I feel like a lot of people need to go through a spiritual puberty. A lot of people never went through that. Like, you need to get uncomfortable and grow as a person, mentally and spiritually. You're not
going back to what I was saying, it's people still on this platform that are saying, "Oh, I would rather you not talk about it on your stream because that's not what I'm here for. I just want to see you play video games."
Oh no.
Well, newsflash.
I'm black.
Yeah, exactly. That's the situation is. Yeah, well, unfortunately, you know, I don't have that privilege to just play video games and ignore shit. So I'm going to talk about it. And if you feel uncomfortable, then again, you need to find a way to get uncomfortable with it, because that's reality for me. I'm sorry that it's not for you. I'm glad that you get to just willfully ignore everything.
I was black before I was a gamer, and if I choose to stop gaming, I'm gonna be black after.